What's up, Jay? Yeah, do have multiple accounts. Oh no, not multiple TikToks. No. This is my only one. If you're getting messaged, if somebody's messaging you, that's not me, man. This is my only TikTok. I thought you were talking about trading accounts. Sorry. Nah, Jay, that's spam. Yeah, dude, definitely report that and don't fall for that crap. What's up, Dean? How's it going, man? Did you really cut your hair off? Yeah, I actually banked more than that, man. I didn't mean to leave that up there. Um, Lost 100 on that account. That's an eval. Up 2K on that one. Plus, let's see if I can get this other five five TPT funded accounts. Took down 305 on those, and then another funded. I'm up 450. So it's been a good morning so far. Nah, man, I caught part of CPI. Caught that move up. Actually, was long off of on ES. I was long off of the sweep of London low down here, and then we had a pretty breaker set up, and then I just went with it. We swept. There was a gap in there. I mean, it was a pretty setup for a long right there on ES. So I happened to be in that. Was shooting for um, New York PM high, and it just blew. I just let it run. But we're gonna switch it up and trade one of these. What's up, Zach? Oh, you guys are in the chat in the Discord. Yeah, man, I was getting ready and talking. I had a couple phone calls I had to make. Missing all the fun in the Discord. I'm gonna join up. I'll join in there next time. You guys gonna do pre-market tomorrow? I'll join. I'll jump in there tomorrow if you guys are gonna do that. Very nice. I'm glad you guys are doing that, man. That's good. I thought I cleaned all this up. I caught part of this move down here too. I closed right before market open on one of my evals. Nah, mosquito. I'm gonna wait to see if we take up the rest of this move, or if we want to go higher here. We'd have to flip. We have a couple gaps above us here that we'd have to flip. Uh, this 15 specifically, I'd want to see that to flip before I'm convinced that we want to go. Excuse me, higher. I want to say I'm bullish today, man. I want to say that I'm bullish. That's what, in terms of, if you look at the session indicator and you go look at what we've done for the past like 2 weeks, we've had a trend where if we have New York AM and PM going higher, then the following day it goes lower, and so on and so forth. So it's been oscillating pretty consistently like that. So yesterday we were bearish. Today I think we could be bullish. We'll see if that trend repeats itself again today, but that would be my idea. We do have a lot of sell side down here, so what I was anticipating was us to kind of maybe come down here and sweep some of it up, hit this 4 hour, and reject higher. But the market might have other ideas. We'll just take whatever it gives us. Right now, we're pushing higher. I'm learning, I'm learning Bookmap. I don't use it right now I don't utilize it as well as I could because I haven't learned it well enough yet. But I definitely see the usefulness of it. So I'm trying my best to learn it, man. It's taken me a while. It's not easy. What's up, young G? Jay, I'll send you a new. Yeah, it is expensive, man. That's why I canceled my subscription because I was like, I'm not really even. I don't know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to figure it out, but hang on a sec. Young, who was it? Said that Jay. I'll send you another Discord invite. Give me 1 second. 1 second. I don't even have the Discord pulled up. Bitcoin broke 122. Nice. Yep. Pretty consistent. Sorry, I had to open up the Discord. There it is in the chat. Discord pinned right there. The link's pinned. So if you guys are having trouble, just click that. You can get in there. Yeah, John, that was nice. Well, the setup was there. It was. I took it on ES. We had just swept. We just swept Asia down here, and we were. I mean, it was a perfect recovery out of that. So it was. I was long not. I mean, I wasn't trying to guess the news. I was long because the market structure was there, and it just played out, man. So, yeah, definitely a good start to the day. This is NASDAQ futures. This isn't Forex. It says it in the description when you join the live. Honestly, man, if I wasn't streaming, I'd be done for the day. I'm gonna trade an eval with you guys. I do have one other funded that I just activated that I might trade, but I was gonna wait on that. Forex is currency. This is not. Price moves differently. I feel like Bookmap is so helpful when it gives you, yeah, the resting orders where you can see like icebergs and things like that, man. I feel like if you combine ICT strategies with Bookmap, I think that's a cheat code right there. That's the money glitch. Did you guys have a good weekend? Yeah, Abdu. It is. It's definitely like very useful. Appreciate the follows. Yeah, I had a good weekend, man. Went to a wedding. It's pretty wedding at like a golf resort. It was nice. Had some good food. Hung out with my girlfriend. Yeah, can't complain, man. So I wanted to buy right now. Why is it more expensive than other times? What are you wanted to buy what? What did you want to buy, Jay? Every day is a good day. That's right. I'm yeah, I'm confused a little bit, Jay, on what you're talking about. You talking about the market? We're pushing higher. All right, Young G. Is it Young V? Young V. Oh, Young V12. Hey, you got a V12? V12 you got over there. A little Venador? Yeah, Tyron, I do. I mean, it's going to take you a while to learn it, man. I've honestly been trying to learn it for 6 months or so. No, no BS. I've heard other people say it takes them a couple years to really fully understand it, and not fully understand it, but fully to be able to get to the point where they can fully utilize all the tools that it provides you. But it's basically an order flow, uh, super software. Shows you where orders are stacked up. I'll show it to you guys one day. I might do a video on it, but honestly, like I've said, I it still confuses the hell out of me. So, um, I feel like if I were to show it and then you guys had questions, I'd be like, yeah, it's a great question. I have no idea. So, yeah, you do have to pay for it. Yeah, it's not cheap. You pay for the software and then you pay for the monthly on top of that. Um, can't remember exactly how much it is. I'll have to pull it back up. Um, yeah, 50 a month. That's for like a base CME plan though. I think that's just for the base. I might make a video on that at some point. I'll look into it. Maybe it'll attract some people who actually know how to use it, and I can get somebody to. Because I've been watching all the YouTube videos. It's not easy. Appreciate that, Kenny. Does it definitely help your trading game? Uh, I would say yeah, man, because you can see it's seriously like a heat map where you can see where the major orders are stacked up, and there's all kinds of little indicators or widgets that you can use in conjunction with that you can pay for, where you can see what they call like icebergs, which is like a massive order where that's stacked up. And, prices generally attracted to those sorts of things. Or you can see, hey, if I'm going long right here, and there's an iceberg of sell orders right here, so you'd want to be able to push through that, or at least know it was there, because if you're long and it hits that, price could either reject off of it or just sit there and like have a really hard time breaking through it. So things like that, it can give you more comfort in your trades. It's just there's all kinds of different ways to utilize it, man. It's pretty cool. A lifetime for 1900. Yeah. I'm interested to see once we invert this 15 here if how 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 much that holds if we do invert it. Look at that. What in the hell was that? Just said nope. Yeah, that was weird. I just like was about to invert this 15 and then it just said nope. Just rocketed back down. Inverted this 5 on that candle down. That's so strange. So now we're just going to get caught here. What's your bias for right now? I'm bullish for right now. Definitely bullish. But I do think that we might sweep up some of the sell side first. That's what I would like to see, and then get along up to London High or something. I think we already swept it on ES. How did I not mark that up? I swear I had this chart marked up. There we go. Okay. Yeah, we did not sweep it on ES. I don't know how to not be stupid and click buttons. Well, baby, I would highly recommend that you sit on your hands. Exercise patience. Takes practice. That's the mental side of this that is the hardest to get. Just being patient. Sorry, guys. I had this marked up, and for some reason, I think I marked it on my laptop, and for some reason, I didn't click save or something, and it didn't carry over. So I'm sitting here basically having to mark it fresh mid-session, so I apologize. Everything hit the 5-minute reversal. Interesting. Does it matter that we're in an all-time high? I'm in longs. What's London High mosquitoes? What LOH is? That rip down is crazy. What are you interested in? I'm looking for a sweep of some lower level liquidity and then a move higher, which is what we're kind of looking at right now, like it wants to do. The hardest thing to do with trading, Kelly, is to just sit on your hands and just not be worried that, hey, that might work out, it might not, and I'm going to sit on my hands and wait, and if it does, I'm going to be fine with it, because you're minding your rules. What you want to do is focus heavily right now on minding your rules. That's the most important thing. The money will come. The quality trades will come. The quality trades and the money are going to be a direct result of you minding rules. So focus on that. Don't focus on missing out on money. It's pretty wild how that just said nope. You think the S&P is going to go higher today? Yes, I do. We'll see, though. I'm not a... What I think and what happens are two totally different things, man. So I moved my stop to break even on this short and missed the 100-point move Yeah, that that is extremely frustrating, Raj. Is that right? Did he say that? That would explain that 15-minute candle right here. Just we were about to end. We were like 15 seconds from inverting this, and then it just said nope. It can present itself, Jay. It can the low resistance liquidity can present itself, on the 5 minute. It just depends. You know, it's where you see just really wicky short candles. Making hella in this short. Nice. What I'm looking for is a sweep of this liquidity down here and potentially a rejection off of this 4 hour. That would be nice. In 7 minutes, though, we could invert this, the 4 hour that we're sitting inside of, and that would be pretty interesting. We're gonna just pay attention to all that. I did trade yesterday. I caught a nice little short yesterday. Gabriel, I'm looking for what I'm eyeballing is what I think is going to happen here, which is a sweep of this low of these lower levels right here, and then a push higher. But who knows? We'll take what the market gives us. Right now, it's hitting this 5 minute inversion, holding there. So we'll see what happens. Just going to keep a close eye on everything. We're already up. We're down 100 on one. We're down 183 on one eval. That's blown. That was all I had. That was my third trade on that account. So I like to just either pass it or blow it and keep moving. This was what we're up. This is a funded, and then we're up another 450 on another funded, and then we're up 305 times 5 on Take Profit Trader. So right now, I don't really have a reason to trade a funded. I have one fresh funded that I'm up. I'm only up $244 in it so far. So I might trade that one because I need to get it up to the buffer. Or I might trade an eval. It depends on how A plus the setup is. If we have an A plus setup and it's clear, I'm going to take a trade on that funded. Probably be 5 micros is what my sizing would be. But I have another eval right here that I could trade as well if I wanted to. So that's what we're looking for. Well, I don't sell a course, so I can do that pretty easily. A funded account is what you get after you pass an evaluation. Evaluation is just, depending on the account size you buy, I stick with 50K accounts, $50,000 accounts. You can buy an evaluation through a prop firm, depending on the one. I like Apex, as you can see the advertisement on the screen. That's just a promotion code to get you 80% off. With that code, you will only pay $39 or so for a $50,000 account for an evaluation. You have rules that you have to mind. for that evaluation. You can't trade during certain events. You have to reach a target profit. You can't lose more than $2,500 of drawdown. Certain things like that. And you have to reach a target profit of $3,000. Once you reach that $3,000 and you've minded all the rules, you can then activate the account. It'll cost you, with Apex, it costs you $140 to activate the account. Once you have that account, that's a funded account. When you have that funded account, you can take money out with that funded account. You have to reach the buffer, which is $2,600, and then everything you make beyond that, you can pull out and put directly into your pocket and use it however you want. Yeah, BR, I like to take profit. I have, as I just said a minute ago, I got 5 of their accounts rolling right now. I'm trying to get them to hook me up with a code so that I can get you guys a bigger discount or something. Nice, Trevor. Yeah, it sounds like a fee farm because it is for, you got to think about this. They make their money, if let's say you buy an evaluation and you don't pass it that month, it re-ups the subscription for another $39 for the next month. But the idea is not to pay that. You either pass, my thinking, once you're skilled at this enough and you're passing evals consistently, you don't want to wait around that whole month to pay again. What you'd want to do is either pass or fail the evaluation before that re-up subscription, and then get another account. That's what I like to do. But they're making their money off of people just buying dozens and dozens and dozens of these evals and just blowing them and buying more. If you're disciplined and you're doing this right, you can make a shit ton of money, and there's no, they're basically just giving you money to trade with. They keep, with Apex, they keep 20% of your profits and you keep 80%. So they're making money on that. But yeah, the fee farm idea, it is for the people who are just very undisciplined and they're just blowing evals and buying new ones and blowing them and buying new ones. That's where they're making their money. So yeah, I mean, to that extent, you're right. Just don't be that guy. It doesn't reset. They charge you and give you a free reset to apply once you've either blown the account or you're down enough where you feel like resetting the account. But if you pass the account, then you just basically missed out on that extra $39. So it's best to just pass or blow the account before the re-up, in my opinion. Yeah, basically. It's closer to like 30% all in once you talk about taxes. But your ROI, if you look at it as, let's say it's right at 100 and call it $180 all in for a funded Apex account. I mean, if you're taking one max payout, which is $2,000, then you've already made well over your investment, man. And you're doing that multiple times multiple accounts. I see. Do you actually make a living doing this? Absolutely. Yeah. You've been trading over 6 years, but I don't have large enough capital for my strategy. Well, then this is the way to go, man. Here's the thing. XOX is your name, I guess. Here's the thing. If you tried this out, do your own thing, whatever you want to do. You don't have to use my code. Go do whatever you want to do, but try this out and spend 30, 40, 50 bucks on an eval and see how you like it. Because having $50,000 of capital to trade for less than 100 bucks, you're not losing anything. You can cancel it, move on with your life if you don't like it, if you feel like it's not for you. But there's people pulling millions and millions of dollars out of the market doing this. I'm not at that level yet, but I intend to get there. Yeah, man. Again, I don't sell a course. I don't do any of that. my income comes from my trading profits. So, I'm not trying to sell anybody on anything. You either do this or you don't. I don't give a shit. My life doesn't change either way. But I would highly recommend giving it a shot, man. I traded with my own personal capital when I first started with Forex, and I got my butt handed to me, man. Really, really badly. We're getting part of the move that I'm looking for here. I want to see how we react when we hit this 4 hour. I'd like to see it scoop up all of this first. But we very easily could push through. We could sweep this and just push through. I'm bullish on the day, so I would be a little surprised, but we'll adapt and overcome here if this decides to be a bearish day. I don't know anything about FTMO. I've seen some other guys using it, but I personally haven't done any research on it. Let's say in August I blew my account. No, I wouldn't do that, because a lot of times the reset is either $50. Oh, you're talking about the sub. You could do that if you want. When Apex was running the 90% off code, it was 90% off for the account, and then the recurring payments or the recurring subscription was like $39. So the logic there was, no, I would cancel the account and start a new eval. You're paying, $20 versus $40, so you're literally paying double. Let's see what we get here, boys. Somebody just called out a SMT. Yeah. A little decoupled there. A little bit. I swear ES was leading pre-market. Oh, sorry, you guys couldn't see that. Thoughts on break of structure, fair value? Yep, love it. It's two good confluences that should be a part of your setup. They're elements to a setup. They're not in and of themselves. They're not what I execute a trade off of. But in conjunction with other factors, yeah, I do. I love them. I'm not long or short. We're looking for this sell side liquidity to get taken up. Yeah, this is trading view. I like to see an order block or a breaker, sweep of a major liquidity level, strong V-shape recovery. Those are other elements to the setup that I'm looking for. First and foremost, I like to enter a trade after a sweep of a major level. I don't like getting in a trade other than that. CPI was 830, Evan. I did, Josh. I took a trade yesterday. I was short. I posted it in the Discord. I guess I forgot to post it on my TikTok story. Yeah, I did. Did well. Made 18 or 1,500 across 5 accounts. So 1,500 divided by 5. It was like 300, I think is what it was on 5 take profit accounts. Something like that. I can't remember. Or no, it was 1 funded and 4 evals, I think. So we're just going to tease that and then push back higher here, huh? Is Trade of 8 good? Yeah, that's what I use Trade of 8. 30 Y2 Kelly. It's, I think with the 80% off, it comes out to be like $38 or $39 for the eval. Right around there. Nah, Max, I was driving yesterday. I was not home. Uh, so I didn't get a chance to. That's why I wasn't live. I also wasn't live because we had no news yesterday. I wasn't planning on trading, but we had a beautiful setup that just played out perfectly. Seabass, the $38 is not for a funded. 38 is for an evaluation. Once you pass the evaluation, then you get the ability to activate a funded. But the eval is not funded. You don't pull any money out of that. That's just a testing you to see if you can trade and pass their rules. Depends, man. Depends on the activation's 140. Depends on depends on how good you are, man. It took me a while to pass one. It's going to take most people a while to pass one. It's not easy. I know some people who started trading pretty soon after they started trading. They passed an eval and they were like, "Dude, I thought this was supposed to be hard." And the next thing you know, they blew their funded and they can't pass another one. So a lot of it, you might get lucky and pass one your first time or your first couple times, but you got to develop some really strict rules and skills and psychological discipline to be successful doing this. This is the hardest way to make easy money that you will ever find in long on a 3 minute. I'm just hesitant to do that, Tristan, because we did not sweep the lows. I really want to see it come down and sweep these lows first. We inverted this 15, so we could just be retouching this and look for a rejection out of it. Low size. Okay. Let me grab a drink. Sorry, I forgot to do that. Your uh, longs holding all-time high target. I hope that plays out, man. Yeah, Juan, I'm 6'5". Do you live in the gym, my guy? No, dude. I look like a skinny little bitch right now. I need to get back in there. Vanguard, I like your thinking, and Tristan, I like yours too. I think we are bullish. I'm hard pressed to get in this until we sweep a little lower here. I want to see a touch into this 4 hour and take up this a little bit of this liquidity that's resting down here. But you guys could be ahead of you could be ahead of the move here. You know what I mean? You could be in it early and be sitting pretty. We might not go lower is basically what I'm saying. We'll see though. Sweet. Yeah. Yeah, break even yet. How long you been trading? 2 years, Evan. Actually, 2.5 years. And only the past. This is the fourth month that I've taken payouts. I don't necessarily. I used to say, yeah, I'm profitable when I first started streaming. I would like to revise that and say I've been taking consistent payouts and I've made much more than I've spent on evals or mentorships and everything. But I don't think I'm going to consider myself profitable until I've been taking out pretty sizable payouts for at least 6 months. I think that's a more uh, safe way to explain my success. I've heard of people like taking payouts for 3 or 4 months, and then all of a sudden they go a year or two without taking a payout, and it's like, I don't want to get ahead of myself. Also, look at this, guys. I don't know if you guys have ever had this. This is going to be a little bit. The can is a little bit weird, so don't judge me. But this stuff right here, I don't know if anybody's ever seen this. I don't know if it's anywhere other than Target. I've only found it at Target. But it's a magnesium drink, and it's got some pretty good stuff in it. Rose tea, lemon balm powder, vanilla extract, lemon juice, and magnesium. It's got like 3 different types of magnesium. But this stuff is so good, and for some reason it's just like perfectly chill. Tastes amazing, man. I hit break even RIP, yeah. It's all right. I work at Target and stock that all the time. Dude, they're so good. If you haven't tried one, give it a shot, man. It's not even caffeine. It's not. It's called a magnesium and adaptogen infused sparkling water. Strawberry rosé. It's a little bit, the can and all that, but I'm telling you, it tastes amazing. Am I taking trades? If we get a setup, yeah. I took a couple pre-market trades. Yeah, that's where we're sitting right now. And we're also sitting here times 5. And we're also sitting right there. So we'll see. We'll see. We got to get some setups here. Put this right there. Are we going lower? I'd like to see this sell side right here get picked up, and then I would look for higher. It is a little zesty. I'm not gonna lie, it is. But once you try it, man, and you feel it, it's like it puts you in a good mood. I think it's the magnesium. The magnesium just chills you out, and it's really very flavorful. Evan, that would be my target once we sweep this stuff. CPI wasn't better than expected. It was down year over year by 1/10 of a point. The question is, why would the market have jumped with a 1/10 of a point? You said it beat expectations. I don't know what you're looking at, man. Go to Forex Factory. It did not. The forecast was 2.8, and it came in at 2.7. Month over month was projected at 0.3%. It came in at 0.3. Core CPI, CPI month over month was projected at 0.2. It came in at 0.2. CPI year over year was projected at 2.8. It came in at 2.7. Did you jump back in, Tristan? No, that's worse. You want that number to be greater, not lower. Above it would be greater. But that's Tristan. That's probably extremely frustrating because especially if price then goes where you thought it would. But you're also not losing if you're breaking even like that. I know that's cutting into your losses. You can make that simple adjustment. You can. The dude that you posted the other day, I looked through some of his stuff. He's got some good stuff, man. So I'm sure he's got some advice on how to get over that. Maybe you're moving your stops too soon. I don't know. That's just a guess. I have no clue what you're actually doing. Up 2% today. Hey, just don't put a stop in at all. You can't lose if you don't have a stop, man. But wouldn't that mean inflation lowered? Yeah, it would. Generally, if CPI comes in lower than forecasted, it means that inflation is typically cooling off. Not always, but for the most part, yes, that is correct. What are you trading right now? This is NASDAQ futures. What are you looking for? Hazel, I'd like to see price come down, sweep these lows, and then go higher. But looks like the move is wanting. Oh, there's my email. Looks like the move is wanting to go without us at the moment. It is. I mean, Flipper. That technically that is what's happening. That is what that number means. That's how it's being interpreted by economists. Do you expect the same on ES? I do. Yeah. ES was actually kind of leading pre-market. It's done that the past 2 days, but we'll keep an eye on both of them. We had an S&T at the lows, I think. Yeah, S&T at the lows there. These candle wick lows. I was looking at ES pre-market. We had a sweep of London, or excuse me, a sweep of Asia down here. Mark this out. Had a sweep of Asia. We had a breaker. We had a breaker. We had a gap. And we had a clear draw on liquidity higher. And we just went to the moon. What's up, Judah? What time frame? It doesn't. You don't have to be on a specific time frame, man. You can bounce around any of the lower time frames, and you can see that setup. Don't get too hung up on sticking to one time frame. You want to bounce around. You generally establish your bias on the higher time frames, and then look for entries on the lower time frames, where your setup presents itself the most clearly. Make sure you're keeping an eye on the higher time frame PD arrays, though, such as 4-hour gaps like this one. Buy or sell. Full port longs right here, bro. Middle of the range. It's just open and long. Max contracts to the moon. I'll do it if you do it. Where can you learn? Here, man. Join the Discord, YouTube. I don't sell anything, but you'll get a little bit of the basics from watching this and joining the Discord. I'd start with YouTube. The ICT 2022 mentorship. Great place. T-Trades has a series called Foundation. That's a great series to start with, too. I just sent it in the chat. ICT 2022 mentorship, and then there's another guy called T-Trades. That's an account, and you should look for his foundation playlist. Yep, order flow is good too, man. T-Trades, I put it in the chat. Yeah, I watch Rips, man. He's an order flow momentum trader, and he cleans up. Just the strategy depends on what makes sense to you, and what makes sense to you, and what you can easily identify and understand when you're watching the markets. To me, it's ICT, but I incorporate a level of order flow elements into that by watching the order books and things like that. What is this guy talking about? PJ Trades is who I really learned a lot from, especially when it came to the psychological part of things. I don't trade gold. I don't trade currencies like that. I don't trade metals or currency or crypto. Don't do any of that. Good job, Jay. There's nothing to trade here, man, for us. I mean, if you're trading the same kind of strategy that I trade, there's nothing here. Why can't you? You can. What you do is, depending on the position you're in, kind of want to switch over to paper to show you this, but let's say you're long right here, one contract, you would put a sell order for your take profit level of one contract. So you right click, you'd click sell 3 or sell 1, however many you're in. And the same for your stop loss. You would right click below where your price currently is, wherever you want your stop loss to be, and have a sell order or a sell limit, a sell stop there. Yeah, you're good, man. 23,800 at the open. That's awesome. They were down. They were probably eyeing London low. I was short there too, and I took profit around here on one of my accounts. No, there's no more news for today. No red folder news. There's some stuff at there's some yellow folder. There's some yellow folder at 10. That happened already. That's FOMC member Barkin. Schmid speaks at 10:30. Federal budget balance at 2. API weekly statistical bulletin at 4:30. But those are all yellow folder. They don't typically have any impact. All we really care about is red folder and orange folder. Blue Geo, yeah, so this typically is a level of, like in this scenario, this would be a level of support, meaning that you would anticipate price touching into this and then rejecting, going higher. That's the idea. Now it doesn't always do that, but generally that's how a 4 hour or a fair value gap would work. If there was a fair value gap above, which there is, I think, yeah. So you were pushing into this red fair value gap right here. That means it's bearish, meaning that you would expect price to potentially push into that and reject lower. But since this is a bullish market that we're in, we very well could push right through it and keep going higher here. I've never used CTrader, no. Hey Jay, I don't think hyper focusing on the RR is super helpful. I mean, if that's your rule and it's helped you, dude, I'm not trying to change it. Don't, stick to it. But generally, I like to focus on making sure that the setup is quality over over that. That's kind of a byproduct of a quality setup. Like if we were to get this, let's say we were to get this sweep down here, and what we'd want to see, hopefully there's a gap that presents that we invert. We'd want to put, let's say that the trade starts to, go in our direction right here. That wouldn't be bad, but I wouldn't focus too heavily on that. This is like if you're in the middle of the range here and you're taking a 1-to-1, that is not advisable. Just simply because that's not a good place to open a trade. So your RR is going to be a result of your entries on taking a good trade and not FOMOing into a trade. Yeah, man. Yeah, don't beat yourself up about that. I mean, again, I'm a huge stickler for rules. So if that's your rule and it's worked well for you, stick to it and do kick yourself a little bit for breaking it. But, don't dwell on it too hard, in my opinion. I haven't decided, Luca. Oh, I still got the 4x showing over there. I'm up on fundeds for the day. I do have one other funded that I've barely touched, and I have a couple of evals. So if we see a super A plus setup, I'm going to take a trade on funded. It's going to be about 5 micros is my sizing. But if I'm a little more unsure of the setup, I'm not going to take a bad setup. But if I'm just not as sure about it, I'm going to take a trade on eval instead. Where do you find the actual dashboard for an account? You don't really have, I mean, you have that, but you go to, I'm going to sign into mine. Hang on. Can't remember what tab it is off the top of my head. So on the left side uh, of the main dashboard on Apex's website, you'll see where it says eval charts, and that kind of gives you a breakdown of where you are. It's not as intricate as you have on like Top Step and those other places, but I use a third party. I use TradeZella, and it's attached to all my accounts or most of my accounts. Now, not always. I take some of them off because I like to look at individual account performances. But TradeZella is, I highly recommend it. I'm not in a trade. Yeah, it's not as advanced, yeah, at all. Hopefully they change that. I'd like to see like a Top Step esque dashboard. I think my funded futures and Tradeify have pretty good setups. My funded futures is good. Can I recap the trade? Yeah, I did earlier. I can do it again. Swept London or swept Asia low down here, and then we had a breaker, with a fair value gap and a clear V-shaped recovery, and we went long. And held it. That was on ES, by the way. It was an ES trade. I don't think we swept on NQ. Yeah, we didn't sweep on NQ. I entered on the, let's see, where was it? This isn't connected to that one. Hang on one second. I don't want to flash you my information here. Was it on ES? Oh, no, we did take it on NQ. Entry was right there. We swept on ES and we were reversing. I think what happened was I was on the wrong tab on Trade Evade, but it was still a good position. But we got in right there and sold right there. No, this is at I wasn't streaming yet. That was at 8:15 this morning. No, it swept on ES. You can see it right here. That was Asia. Right there. ES was leading pre-market. It's been doing that the past couple days. Yeah. I'm going to switch back real quick, though. I want to be on the other account. There we go. Yeah, I took this short, too. That was on one of my other fundeds. I think we're up 3,900 on the day right now. Yeah, I do copy trade. Yep. Yeah, this 305 right here was copy traded times 5 take profit funded accounts. I did not copy trade this trade right here, the 1900. That was one funded account at a time on that. Because I wanted to be a little more cautious pre-market right there, and I didn't know. I thought that ES was leading, but I didn't know if we were going to just get into this. And then since NQ had not swept, I was preparing myself for a reversal, but we didn't get that. So that's why I didn't copy trade that trade. Obviously, I'm like, damn, I wish I would have. But if it had ended up losing, I would have been super glad that I wasn't copy trading it. How do you become a successful copy trader? You just link your accounts, man, and just treat it like you're trading one. You're talking about like this? You're struggling with the psychology of it. Yeah, this is ES right here. This is NASDAQ right here. You went up 2 bands this morning on NASDAQ? Yeah, call it a day, man. Call it a day or switch to eval. You feel like trading is rigged? A lot of people say that. A lot of people say that because they don't stick with it long enough to stick with a strategy. They're not patient. I'm not saying that's you, but that the people who are convinced of that, that's what they say. I can tell you that I'm making money from it. I know plenty of people that are also making money from it. So it's a question of it would be like here's what I would. Maybe this isn't a good analogy. You tell me, but it would be like stepping into a batter's box when you have, Madison Bumgarner pitching against you, and you can't hit the ball, and you're like, man, this is rigged. No one's hitting that ball. And it's like, well, there's plenty of people that are hitting that ball. There's plenty of people that are. It's a super difficult thing to do, but it's definitely possible. Maybe that's not a great analogy, but that's kind of how I see it. Trading PM, not a bad idea. PM yesterday was cooking. Metaflow, yeah, that's why I'm not in a position here, man. I was hoping that we were going to sweep these lows and then go higher, but it's just moving right now. It's definitely possible, man. It's taken me over 2 years though, so this is not a get rich quick, type of scenario. And people would say you're a good baseball player because genetics. Part of that is true. Part of it is genetics. Part of that is definitely true. But it doesn't mean that other people couldn't do it. You know what I mean? Like, that just means that some people might have an advantage genetically. 2,500 is the drawdown on a 50K with Apex. This is the 15-minute time frame. What's up, Steve? Steven, how's it going, man? Yeah, ES took, ES made London lows. We didn't take it, but we made it. We took Asia low. Yeah, we took a couple trades, Luis. This is in Q, Judah. We didn't sweep it on NQ at all. There's London low right there, Asia low right there, New York PM from yesterday. So right now we're just going to sit here and watch. It does look similar where we pushed higher yesterday and then dropped off, but I think if we do push higher, I would anticipate a push all through the PM session as well, but I'm not Nostradamus, man. That's just what my gut tells me is going to happen. The non-existent, it's the sweep of Asia. Maybe that I needed more confluence of that, but that sweep of Asia was what convinced me there. There's a little S&T there. I see that little S&T. Tiny little S&T. Again, Judah, I've said this before. I've been burned too many times by S&Ts, so I use them as a confluence, but I don't put as much weight on them as other people do. Damien, what I'm looking for specifically right now is price to come down here, take out these levels, and then go to higher. But right now, we're just pushing higher. Yeah, we took some trades. The P&L is right there for one of the accounts. Yeah. because it could continue higher here, Damien. Like if I'm saying, okay, I want it to do this, that doesn't mean that that's necessarily what it's going to do. That's just what I'm looking for. And if it just runs without us here, I'm probably not going to take another trade. I'm up 3,900 on the day across multiple fundeds, 7 funded accounts. So you just went short. Nice. We are respecting this 15-minute gap here. I can mark that out. If we invert that, I think we do push higher. But you're just in the premium of the range right here. That's why I'm not trying to get into this. I'm going to put it on the screen. Can I make this smaller? That's what I'm looking for. That good? Yeah, ES seems to be leading, but they were leading pre-market. I don't know that I'd necessarily say that they're leading now, but we'll see. The fact that they did invert that is interesting. Yeah, decent S&T there. I don't do options, so I don't know. It's trading your job. That's my source of income. Yeah. What's the was the best and worst thing about our source? What you mean? Blowing a nasty amount of XFAs. I did too, man. Before I ever took a payout, my what helped me a lot was PJ Trades was who I was. You could call it a mentor or whatever. I don't know if you want to even call it that, but he was training me basically or helping me with my psychology. His thinking is, and I've adopted this now and it works. For every $500 of drawdown that you have available in your XFA, only risk 1 micro. So if you have 2,500, what is that? 4 micros, 5 micros? You're sitting right around there. So I wouldn't risk more than that. You can, if you make 500, add another micro. But I feel like that kind of prevents you from over leveraging yourself and ended up blowing in the account. Isaiah, so I took the long on ES off the sweep of Asia low pre-market. It was at 8:15 this morning. You're short from 753.25. Yeah, basically right almost at CE of the 15-minute gap. We'll see if that plays out. Not a bad short. I think if we're going to get a push lower here, it is going to be off of this 15. So we'll see. This is in queue right here. I'm going to go pee real quick. Sorry. No, I don't wash my hands. How's unemployment? It's great, man. Pretty good. Appreciate the gifts. I just saw that. You guys are awesome. Thank you for that. I worked for a law firm, MSFL, did transactional law, mergers and acquisitions. Absolutely not, Jay. We haven't swept anything. That's why we're just waiting. A major sweep would be one of these levels. One of these levels. London high, London low, Asia high, Asia low. I'm going to send you an invite to the Discord since it's not working. If you're joining off of the link tree from my TikTok, you have to click open in browser in the top corner, but you can just join off of this link right here. The leg up was the CPI move. 830 move. Yeah, Jay, I said the answer is no, it's not. A sweep of a major level would be London high, London low, Asia high, Asia low. I quit in May because of school. I didn't quit because of this. And I didn't quit. I just finished working for for now. Didn't take on any more deals. Nice, man. Good. Glad you got in there. So the link from Linktree, if you're having issues with that, what you have to do is when you click the disc or when you click on the Linktree, you gotta hit open in browser and then go to the Discord link from there. But I'll keep posting it in the chat here for anybody that's having issues. This is not a possible setup right here. No, Jay. This is exactly what I'm looking for. What's typed out here on the screen. I want to see a move lower, and I want to see a nice V-shaped recovery. I want to potentially invert a gap that we create on the way down, and then I want to see maybe a retest of that gap was where I would have my entry. Stops below the 4 hour. What am I going back to school for? I'm studying economics. I wanted to go to law school. I still am leaving that door open. That's the whole reason I'm back in school. Was I was working for the law firm, and in order to be an attorney, you have to have a law degree. So I hadn't even finished undergrad, so I wanted to do that, and here we are. What are you talking about, JW? Help with what? Could you be my lawyer when I'm No, not that kind of lawyer. Have no desire to be doing that kind of stuff. Heath, yeah, I mean, the way that it's going, if it continues on the path that it's going, that is going to be what I do. I'm going to change my plans a little bit. I'm still going to finish undergrad, but I might not go to law school. I only have 2 years left of undergrad, and I'm at a pretty good school, so I don't want to just throw that away. No, I don't want to be a trial attorney of any sort. TP set at 850, so just above all-time highs. I appreciate the confidence. No, that's not the kind of law that interests me, man. Mergers and acquisitions, business law, corporate law, that is what's interesting to me. Fun. It's fun. But Your Honor, I bench money. I do know a guy who's a personal injury attorney, and he's a big boy. Used to be a prosecutor. He's a big boy. I'd hate to be up against him in the courtroom. It was New York PM high, I believe, from yesterday is what it was. I don't have it marked out still. I deleted my lines. CPI high is a TP. You could do that. That wick high right there, that data wick. That was the 930 high, though. The CPI high is London high. Making a public shower business? What is that? You actually had me interested in something because I've been talking about this as a solution for homeless people. That's what you're doing it for too? That's kind of crazy, man. Yeah, man. That's wild. I'd like to hear more about that. What am I looking for? I'm looking. It says it right here. Wonder if I can make this bigger, like highlight it or do something so people can see it better. Right there. You thought it was an original idea? I've had so many of those, man. I was in the pool the other day. I wish my buddy Curtis was in this chat so he could hear me talking about this. 10, 15 years ago, we were inebriated, and we used to like to come up with business ideas when we were inebriated. And I came up with this thing that I labeled the floatamabob. And it was a koozie that you could put on your drink in the pool that would elevate it enough so water wouldn't get in it, and it would stay floating. Well, saw one the other day, and when I was at the pool, at the time there hadn't been one that I could find made. We never made the, we never went through with the idea. But then I saw it in the pool, and I'm like, yep, had that idea. Thank God I stick to my entry. Yeah, don't FOMO, man. Took some shorts at 770. Let's see if we can get break even and then run lows. Yeah. It's fun to try to come up with solutions to problems, man. If you can identify problems, you're halfway there. You got to come up with the solution. when you were 13, dude, that's a genius. See, your brain works on a different level, man. I'm 32, Damien. So I went back when I was 30 or 29. Who's the best attorney? Harvey Specter. That show is definitely not accurate in terms of how the legal world works. Not in most cases. Wolf of Wall Street is realistic. Yeah, man. I honestly don't know. I'm sure that a lot of that's embellished, but in terms of just the general concepts, pretty sure that that's kind of things were pretty rowdy back then on Wall Street. How do you feel being older in the classes? It is a little weird at first, man. It takes a little getting used to. People like call you sir and stuff, and I don't really like that because I'm like, dude, I'm doing the same shit you're doing. Like, you don't have to call me that. But you get a level of deference from your professors that you notice isn't given to the other students. It's like they see you more as a peer, or there's like a level of respect, I guess. So that part is really nice. You should do it, man. If you have a profession that you're eyeballing that you want to do and that you're serious about and it requires you to go to college, I'd say pull the trigger, dude. Don't wait. Did you clap any freshmen? No, man. I have a girlfriend. Not that guy. Is Christopher making call outs, Max? Dude's been spot on. She's in the chat. She's lurking. Sell at 789. Is that this? Where is that? 789. He said 789. It's tough because we just inverted that 15. So I don't know. He'd be shorting into that 15-minute inversion if we did that. What's wrong with the Discord, Dre? Oh, you can't access it? Here. Try that link. Let me know if that link works. Yeah, Discord's free. Well, there's 789. He's got to be using Bookmap or something. Yeah, I don't sell a mentorship. Although I would say if you can find a good person that you can trust, that it's not a bad idea. I have spent money on premium Discords, and there's one that I do highly recommend if you're struggling. Yeah, no problem, Dre. Yeah, I think he is making some call outs in the Discord. Can you mentor me? I will pay. I don't feel comfortable doing that, man, because I don't hold myself out to be a guru at this stuff. I know the basics and I can point you in the right direction to learn more, but I don't, I've only been doing this 2.5 years, man. There's people who have been doing this decades who know far more than I do. Yeah, ES is at all-time highs. I was bullish on this day, so I just really wanted to see this sweep lower first, man. You feel like your trade frequency is too low? I don't think there's such a thing, man. I think 1 or 2 trades a day is prime. PJ, you've heard me guys talk about PJ. He's got a thing going right now where he's a 21-day challenge of seeing where you are. Take 1 trade a day for 21 days and see where you are after that. I think that's for people who are beginners or for people who are struggling blowing accounts. I think that's beautiful, man. I think that's a great thing to try. I try to stick to 3 trades or less a day. Yeah, some people take 1 trade a week. That's true. I was telling my girlfriend yesterday about that, or the day before. Like some people will wait all week for one setup. They'll take it. They'll go balls to the wall with it, and that'll be their only trade for the week, and they're making money. I don't think we're going to get a retouch of this 15. I'd like to see a retouch of the 15, and then I might take a stab at a long. One of There you go, Jay. Smart, man. And again, it's tough because you'd be like, damn, I missed out on this whole move. And it's like, yeah, but you would have FOMO'd into it. You had lows right here that you could still potentially, those are potentials at this point in the trade, like down here. So I think if I get a retouch and a respect to this 15, I might open a long on an eval. Uh, but we'll see. Bro's handsome. Appreciate that, man. $400 away on 4 evals. There you go, man. Slow and steady. Dude, don't change what you've been doing. That's been working. Just keep it up. Missed your entry because you had court. It sucks. Still caught a long. Nice, man. Did we get... I'm going to put this right there. I want to see if we got an entry on that. Yeah, that little touchback right there would have been an entry, but it's just going to push. Just fine. Not going to FOMO. Jay, pay attention. If you're using Tradeovate, you can go to a setting that allows you to turn on your distance to drawdown, and make sure you're keeping an eye on that because they do intraday trailing. So like you could be in a trade, it could go up 1,000, and even if you take profit, if it bounces back to like plus 500, it counts as a $500 loss on your drawdown. So pay close attention to that. Basically, you just need to make sure you're not letting trades run back on you. If you can find somebody who's equally as motivated and on a similar journey as you, I think it's amazing to have a partner or somebody that that you can bounce ideas off of or hold you accountable, hold each other accountable. Six minis, damn, Broham. Currently 13 consecutive, very nice. What I think about shorts right now, I don't think about that at all at the moment. To be honest with you, man, we're respecting bullish order flow here. We got a 15-minute inversion resting down here that we just created. I think we're headed to highs, and it could just continue for the rest of the day in this direction. Yeah, the only thing I'd be looking for here is a tap back of this 15 and a continuation higher. Yeah, we've taken 2 trades today. I'm up. The P&L's on the screen. Up 1,973 on that funded, up 450 on that funded, and then up 305 times 5 fundeds on take profit. 305, 300, 300. So a little bit of slippage here when I was closing the trade. So 305 on those fundeds. So yeah, we're not like too anxious to take another trade, but I'm going to take, if I do, there's London highs. If I do take another trade, it's going to be on an eval. Yeah, I can do a recap. Tristan, are you still in here? I hate it for you, man. You got break even on that long that you were in, and then it just continued higher. What's the standard deviation? What level is the standard deviation max? Is it much above that? Um, that's right. That's basically right at 2 standard deviations. Um, I'd keep holding to that. I'd see where this wants to go. I would size, if London High was your target, I would size out of the majority of your position and leave a runner, if that's what you want to do. Yeah, I'd put the stop Put the stop maybe below this 5-minute gap. Depends on how tight you want to be. You could do it below this inversion depending on where your long position opened. Do I think it's going to go to all-time lows today? Absolutely not. No, Isaiah, that was at 8:15, man. It was right around here. So I was still in my underwear. Was not live. I was sitting here marking the charts out, and that just presented itself, so I took a hard stab at it. Oh, we'll get more live. We'll get more green lives. Don't worry. It's not easy trading live, Isaiah. It's really not, man. It's when you have people watching you, and I feel obligated to read the chat and interact with people. I'm not making excuses. It's just the way that it is. I'm getting more used to it. I just started recently, so it's tough, man. I've only been doing this. I think this is like my 3rd or 4th week. We'll get there, though. You've been here since day one. You know how it is. Nah, Will, I'm still bullish here, man. Could get a little bit of a retrace, but I think we could just be bullish for the rest of the AM session. We'll see, though. 4 standard deviations would be up here. I think we push to all-time highs and then see where it wants to go. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Luca. I don't know anything about gold, Abdel. I don't know anything about it, man. I have steered clear of the gold market. Got it here on the charts. Looks like you just are inverting this 15 right now. So good level of support. Maybe short it and put stops below, or long it and put stops below it. But I don't know how gold moves. I don't know if it follows the same kind of patterns as futures, as like the NASDAQ, other equity index products. Kelly, I'm about to look to see how many trades you've taken. Your net P&L is sitting at 3,200. That looks pretty good. It is fun, Zachary. It is very fun. I'm not going to put it on the screen. I'm just looking at it myself. Yeah, call today. What are you? You're up 2,000 on the day? You're still in a position. Are you still in a position? Christian, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do I see myself in 5 years? I see myself married with a bunch of little rugrats running around on a farm in the middle of nowhere, a compound, if you will. Hopefully with a bunch of my other members of my family with their own homes on that compound, and a bunch of animals, a bunch of horses and cows and goats, and specifically capybara. I want at least like 5 capybara. Yeah. That would be my dream in 5 years. We just hit all-time highs there. North Carolina, Heath. What is well, let's see what Christopher's saying in the chat. Is he making call out still? Yeah, Jay. I mean, we're bullish on the day, man. Remember that. That's the kind of remember what we talked about, and when I messaged you, we kind of use that. You don't want to get married to it, but there's no reason to not believe that we're still are bullish here. I mean, yeah, we just hit all-time highs, but the 4 standard deviations from the all-time or from the sweep low here would be, the full move is 4 standard deviations, which is up here at 23,962. So I would say keep your powder dry. Yeah, I am a Christian too. Name is Christian, and I am a Christian. Yeah. Sorry if I've missed some of you guys saying stuff in here. 5 years from now, I'll be asking you, what is the color of your Ferrari? Lambo, Vanguard, Lambo. Maybe I'll have a Ferrari too by then, but it'll be a Lambo. Saw a purple one with a white interior with purple stitching for sale at this dealership that I've been to before. And man, that was beautiful. SVJ. Yeah, has that SVJ. I appreciate that, Vanguard. Hold me to it, man. Yeah, we took all-time highs. Yeah, those V12s are dirty, man. How many accounts did I blow before becoming profitable? A lot. Didn't follow my rules today. Would have made money had I just waited and followed rules. There's a little bit of a win in that lesson there, Nathan. I mean, not to sound corny, but like those sorts of days are some of the days that are the most helpful, or they were for me at least, because it reinforces why we stick to our rules. Most people, that I've talked to that are just starting out trading, they don't understand sticking to your rules. They're like, but I can just do this or I can just do that. And I'm like, you're eventually going to find out why the rules are important. I've got burned. I still struggle sometimes breaking rules, man. Over trading or FOMOing into a trade. You get your wings clipped enough, you're going to be like, all right, these rules are there for a reason. When does the 3 trades? I'm out. I'm fully out. I haven't been in since market opened. Just gambled another 30 micros to make 120 more profit. Could just thrown 3 minis up there, man. Saved a little bit on commission if you're gambling. Exactly, Max. Exactly. Hey, Nathan, keep your head up, man. You're on the right track. You know what you're doing. You know how to read the market. Just got to control that urge to click the button. And the other thing that you've done is you just said, see you tomorrow or back at it tomorrow, whatever. That's great because that means you're not planning on trading anymore today, which you shouldn't do. A lot of people, when they're first starting out, or I mean, I even do it sometimes. I have this urge to make back what I lost. And it's like, that's the worst. That can end up costing you way more money. Can I talk about what I'm doing? Well, right now I'm just watching. I'm not doing anything. But what I did earlier was I waited for a sweep of a level and then looked for a good entry, targeting the opposite direction, basically. No, I'm in North Carolina. No, Discord is ChristianTrades. Link in the chat right there. Pinned comment. I don't know why my pinned comments go away after a while. I need to figure out how to keep them there. Yeah, man. Yeah, this is the 15 here too, Jay. I like to do that until I'm looking for an entry. Was last week rough for you? I felt like my bias were completely wrong for some reason. I actually had a decent week last week. Ended up having a decent week. What's the best brokerage to use? If you're trading props and you're just starting out, Apex has some of the cheapest evals you can get. Yeah, you're trading, well, you're trading fractions, yeah. Nice. Ernest, yeah, I can go over some of the rules for the evals. With a 50K account, your target profit is $3,000. Once you hit that, you pass the account. You can pass it in a day. Um, you have 2,500 of drawdown. It's intraday trailing. So, like, let's say you're in this trade and you're up 1,000 and it drops back down where you're only up 500. That 500 goes against your drawdown. So it kind of forces you to take profits and not let trade, not hold trades as they run back. That's one of the most major things that people struggle with Apex. That's really it, man. I mean, there's a couple of other, like, I mean, obviously you're limited to trading futures, so you know you can't just trade individual stocks or something like that. But as far as the rules, that's pretty much the main ones, the most important ones. The fact that you can pass it in a day is huge. You can also have up to 20 funded accounts with Apex. My overall TradeZilla score, let's see. Trade win percentage 75, profit factor 4.28, average win loss is 1.38, day win percentage 66.67, TradeZilla score 88.7. Rules, I've stuck to those for 37 days in a row on the rules that I have set. I think it's after it's a certain number of payouts that they move you to the live. I don't trade crypto. This is futures. Do I actually think we go even higher? We could. 4 standard deviations is up here where I have this line. But again, we're at 2 standard deviations and we just swept. So, you know, not a bad area to be looking for a short. Actually, we're getting one here. The profit factor is what I would focus on, Nathan. The higher your profit factor, that means your wins are way outweighing your losers. My average win, my total profit, that profit factor is what you need to work on to focus. It's tough for me to justify Isaiah's a short because I am bullish, but we did just sweep all-time highs, and we're getting a kind of a strong push down here. We just inverted that 5. It's tempting to take a stab at it. I wouldn't blame anybody for doing that if they wanted to. Might be worth it on a small sizing. I might take a stab on a eval with 5 micros just because I'm bullish. There's 5 micros here. We'll see. Stops above right there. Target would be all of this. We'd go hopefully down to here. That would be sick. $861.50. And yeah, we're in this. Where are we in? We had a little slippage on the entry there. 828.50. Yeah, see, we're inverting that 5, and I still think we're bullish on this, to be honest, man. We'll see. We'll see. We just swept all-time highs. We had a inversion of a 5-minute gap right there. Change in order flow on the DOM on the right, but we'll see. Right now, it's pushing off of this 5-minute down here. Strong rejection off of that. So we'll see what happens. Not going to be heartbroken if this doesn't play out. Might even throw on. I'm going to throw on a couple more right there. 5 more. So we're in 10 total. 834.25. There's entry there. Yeah, I probably should have waited for the inversion of this 5, which would have been a cleaner or more convincing, but it's okay. See where it goes. Yeah, you can see my P&L right there. That's live P&L. Yeah. We'll see what happens. Let's see if that's easier to see. Yeah, I have stops set. So if price hits that, it closes the position. Goober, not a bad idea. Call it a day, man. Yeah, this is NASDAQ. Let's see a dump right here, just to take some of this out, at least some of this. I don't know if we'll get it. That 5-minute inversion just got disrespected. So basically useless. I did the same thing when I had my first 2 express fundeds. Caleb, I did the same thing, man. You'll bounce back. Figure out why you did it. Your sizing must have been off. Maybe you weren't following your rules or taking your setups. Something was off. I'd figure out what it is. Make sure you're journaling each of those trades that you took, and figuring out exactly what went wrong. No, I'm still in it. You can see the yeah, you can still see the P&L right here on the screen. Yeah, not being able to accept a loss, you got to walk away. You got to walk away, man. My rule typically on a funded is take 1 trade, and if I lose that trade, I cut my sizing in half, take 1 more, win or lose, that's the last trade for the day. The other rule is if I'm on funded and I win my first trade, if it's a big enough win, I call it a day and don't take another trade. Don't get greedy. Don't get back my profits. So, no, you're good, Isaiah. Appreciate the follows. Appreciate all that. This is getting stopped. Yeah, I've said that multiple times, Wilson. We're definitely bullish on the day. And 4 standard deviations from that move down would be, where did I have that level? Up here or around there. Is that where 4 would be? Something like that. So, yeah. S&P already hit all-time highs. Oh, no, it didn't. Sorry. You're right. Yeah. I thought we did. Sorry about that. Yeah, yeah. Logan, you're right. How long you been trading for? 2.5 years. I'm out of that trade. I'm gonna take that 310 loss there because whoever said, you reminded me I'm doing Isaias, man. Where are you? Where are you? Oh, there you are. You did say it. I was doing it again, man. I was doing it again. I know, man. I know. It's all right. That was an eval. We're still up $4,000 on the day unfunded, so. Just past 2 funded on the bullish run. Hell yeah, man. Heck yeah, man. That's awesome. Yeah, that was stupid taking that. Trying to think that we were going to take up that liquidity. Especially with that 15 right there. Oh, Wilson, I mean, I was just being a little antsy. Not minding rules. Feeling like I need a dopamine hit being in a trade. Yeah, yeah, we're still good on the day, man. Way up. Way up. Not touching the fundeds again. Those are cut for the day. I would say we're coming up on lunchtime. So I always hate price action at lunchtime, man. It's so annoying. So I wouldn't necessarily want to be in a long here. And we're premium of the range. Even though we are bullish on the day, this is a big move. So I would expect at least a retrace maybe, and then a move higher. Gym tips to get shredded: eat a lot. Eat a lot of good food. Just don't force. Yeah, you're right, man. You're right. You're right. You're right. I'm gonna hire you, my mentor. So if you pass eval, how many days to fund it? You have it funded. You activate it. Depending on the firm you're with, like if you were to pass right now, you'd have to wait until after 6 o'clock to be able to trade your over trading final boss. I've taken 2 trades. That was my 3rd trade on the day, man. First eval, actually, it's first eval trade of the day. So 2 funded trades, profit on both. 1 trade on each firm, and then a 3rd trade on an eval. I'd say that's not over trading. How many trades? You've never seen me take 29 trades, my guy. I've never taken 29 trades in a day. You have me confused with either yourself or someone else that you're watching. And all my lives are inventoried, so you please more than Happy to get you to go back and look and find that for me and show me. Yeah, Apex does have a no, your profits do not carry over. Apex does have an activation fee. It's 140. 29 trades an hour, brother. Go on. Yeah, you know me, man. Yeah, the activation with Apex is 140. So if the reason why I think it's a good firm to go with if you're new is because the evaluations are so cheap. If you're consistently blowing evals, the price of the activation fee is not a huge concern because you're not getting there. So if you want to save money on blown evals, the best way to go is Apex, in my opinion. This is futures. Yes, futures. I appreciate all those follows. Isaiah, we had more in here last week, dude. I think we had like close to 300 last week. We had over 10,000 on the total viewership. But at that point, just stay off evals if you're blowing them. Yeah, you need to switch to paper. If you're just blowing evals left and right, you need to switch to paper. That is true, EG. What time do I go live? 9:30 Eastern time. Every day. Every day there's major news. I also tell in the Discord and sometimes on my TikTok or on my TikTok stories whether I'm not going live that day. It's a Corsair. It's the Corsair headset. I need new ones, man. I've had these for like 3 years, and the like maybe I can replace them, but just the like foam or whatever, it's starting to deteriorate. I like them a lot though. They sound amazing. Yeah, I do pay attention to SMT, but I don't bet my house on it like some people do. I use it as a confluence. But I don't like, some people solely will trade an SMT. I don't do that. Yeah, it's been about 3 years, I want to say. Yeah, over 3 years. Around 3 years, somewhere around there. Am I having Battlefield 6 withdrawals? I didn't get to play this weekend because I was out of town at a wedding, and then I came back, and last night I was going to hop on and catch a game, and I realized the beta was over. Comes back, though, soon, doesn't it? Exactly, EG. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, best believe I'll be on it. I got to finish making these videos to post. I got a bunch of videos I need to edit. I'm going to try, Isaiah. I'm going to definitely try. None of my classes, I think the earliest class I have starts at like 11:30, I want to say. Might not even be then. It might be a little later than that. So I think I'll be able to trade. Let's see. I need to double check that. Yeah, that's what I did in May when I was trading. I had a class that started at 9:30 or 9:45 every morning, and I would trade. I would get up super early and then just trade London. If I do that, I'd still go live. It would suck for a lot of people probably with the timing. Beta opens back up on the 14th. Okay, so Thursday, yeah, sweet, nice. What's your time zone, Isaiah? So my earliest class is 11:15. So yeah, I'll trade. I'll be able to trade. Okay. Bro, I was lighting people up on that game. The snipers feel amazing. Just passed my, dude. That's awesome. Just passed 150K account. So happy. That's awesome, man. Congratulations. Now take it easy on the funded. Take it easy. Don't overtrade. Don't oversize. Slow and steady. Great trade, but closed instead of leaving runner. It's all right. God bless you, bro. I pray everything is going well. I appreciate that, man. God bless you, too. Appreciate all the gifts you guys sent. I just see that. That's awesome. Week and a half is great, man. Is that the first eval you've passed? What's up, Sean? My morning's been good. I've had a great morning. Made some money. Good vibes. Chilling. Got some great music playing in my ear. Favorite sport right now, hockey. Growing up, it was baseball. This is NASDAQ, not S&P. How's your morning going, Isaiah? I know. I wish I could play for you guys. Carolina Hurricanes, baby. You got preseason in like a month, right? September 22nd or 23rd. This is the first preseason game. September 22nd. It's first preseason game. Chicago Blackhawks. Okay. I'm sorry. Blues fan. Okay. Yeah, you could execute on TradingView or TradeAvate on your phone. I don't recommend it if you're just starting out, to be honest, but keep failing your challenges. Are you journaling your trades and figuring out why it is that you're don't apologize, we got trophies. When was the last one? It was like 10 years ago or something, wasn't it? I can't say much. The Canes, it's been 20 years or something. Last time they won it was 2015. Okay, so 10 years, yeah. Yeah, I'm still chilling. I'm gonna get off soon, but definitely sitting here and watching this for a little bit longer. Blackhawks are miserable now. Yeah, they've been having a rough go at it. I'll tell you who's such a fun team to watch, man, is Florida Panthers. They keep kicking our ass every year in the playoffs, and it's hard to be too upset about it. I mean, obviously I want my team to win, but they're fun to watch. The Hurricanes need a goalie, man. People love to think Anderson is so good. I'm not a huge fan. I used to be. I think he's injury prone and he's a head case now. And they're spending all this money on other players, other positions. They haven't done anything with their goalie situation. I don't think we win another cup until we get a different goalie, until we get several different goalies. Trying to learn ICT. Just joined. Can you show where you took the trade? I didn't take a trade in the market session. I took it pre-market, and I took it at Asia low. Not in the account, but I took it down here after ES swept Asia low. They were leading. They were the leading indicator at the time, pre-market. And we swept Asia low right here, and then I got in around here, I think. Yeah, right here. Break a structure. Yeah, got in right there. And then rode it up. We had a breaker. We had a V-shaped recovery, sweep of major liquidity, fair value gap that got retested, or kind of, depending on what time frame you were on. And then open the trade targeting the clear draw and liquidity. Break of structure was right here. Oh, sorry, it's not showing. Break of structure was right there. Or change in state of delivery, I guess, is what you would call that. I think we're bullish on the day, man. I think you'd be hard pressed. You'd need to see some serious conviction to want to be taking a short. I know that I was screwing around, and I was looking at taking a short here, thinking that we were going to try to eat up some of this liquidity right here, but was not a smart move and got out of it. We have this on the, this is NQ right here. We have 15-minute inversion here, 15-minute gap here. So maybe if you're looking for a trade, I'd look for a continuation long, maybe. 4 standard deviations is up here at 23,945 for the move for that sweep down. So that that would be the full move. 4 standard deviations up there. So what's up, Christopher? I don't trade, Crystal, I don't trade individual stocks. I trade futures. So this is NASDAQ futures. Appreciate the follow. Yeah, I'm live every day that there's like major news scheduled. If there's a Monday with no news, I'm probably going to start taking that day off, or at least not being live. Just because it's not usually the kind of price action I want to participate in. Not typically. Nine thirty a.m. Eastern time. The dawn. Chris Bumstead. Yo, I just don't like trading for dummies method with indicators. Sweet, man. I hope that works out for you. $1K off of it just this morning. Nice. I wish I knew how to make 1,000 in a day. Drone merchant. This is NASDAQ futures. NASDAQ futures. I'm not in a trade at the moment, but this is NASDAQ futures. Isaiah. What's up, Cuban? I am definitely not Chris Bumstead. I don't even see the resemblance, to be honest. Shorter beard, hair, yeah. I don't have his physique either. He, man, he posted a picture. He's even in off season, man. He is just unreal. He caught a move pre-market, Cuban. Caught a sweep with a sweep of Asia low, and took that setup for a long. Down here. I'm not signed into the same account. I'm not signed into my funded, but it was down here. We swept Asia on ES right there, and they were the leading indicator. I thought I was executing on ES, but on Trade of 8, I guess I executed on NASDAQ. But I got in like right here and then took profit up there. Yeah, exactly, Nathan. And I'm not, I mean, at one point I was willing to do that, but right now I'm more focused on longevity. That does take a toll on you. I blame that on my hairline. Had a full head of hair before that. I feel like training to get that extent is unhealthy, though. I mean, like, yeah, I mean, there's definitely some negative side effects from it, man, but they're not doing it to be healthy. The bodybuilding thing is either something you get or you don't. The people who understand it, obviously I don't know, they're the people who don't get it, you're never gonna get it. I've had other people say that, like, why do you want to be that big? It's like, it's just fun. Yeah, Aiden. That is, I'm not directing this towards anybody, but this is something that I have run into, is like people who will talk about how bodybuilding or eating that much or taking certain enhancement stuff is so unhealthy for you, and they're sitting there pounding alcohol and eating, highly processed food every day, and it's like, please tell me more. Yeah, I get that for sure, Nathan. That's one of my fears too, is that make that possibility a lot harder the more you do that stuff. I already worried if I wonder if I've already zapped my capabilities. I hope not. Yeah, you got to remember, Chris. The thing that people don't understand either is, like, somebody like Bumstead, dude's getting his blood work done constantly, man, and he's doing like all kinds of testing to make sure that his organs are healthy and all kinds of stuff like that. So he has access to a lot of technology and a lot of medical advancements that weren't around when people like Ronnie and those other guys were coming up, just going ham. Yeah, I got that in the cabinet, Nathan. Uh, I got that. I got that stuff rocking and rolling because I've been off for a while now. Jay, I wouldn't be looking for a short here. I still wouldn't. I mean, we are extended high premium in the range. I'm not sure what the RSI says. I'm sure it says we're extended, but I just don't. I don't see us disrespecting bullish order flow at this point. Uh, maybe once 1 o'clock, 1:30 rolls around, you'd really want to see some clear, decisive movements to show you that price wants to make the reversal and not just retrace. I'd just be super patient, man. You're up. Didn't you say you're up? You caught a trade earlier. Are you up on the day right now, or are you just still no trades? I think you said no trades. If you don't take a trade at all today, man, there's nothing wrong with that. That's better than taking a trade and end up getting stopped out, to be honest. You wouldn't take anything but don't think it's going up? Yeah, that's fair. Think it's just going to consolidate right here around this 15? Yeah, I know, Sean. I can't do anything about that, man. It's frustrating. TikTok, every time I get people to report the account or I report the accounts, they tell me that they don't see that they're doing anything wrong, which is wild. But if you could just report it and block them, I'd appreciate that. I don't sell anything. I don't sell a course. I don't sell anything at all, and I'll never hit you up. If you hit me up, I'll happily reply to you, but I don't go out of my way to hit people up first unless we've discussed it in the live. Like if you have something that you wanted me to send you or show you, I'll do that, but I do not go out of my way to hit people up trying to ask them about their crypto or their trading. How's your trading going? I don't do any of that. Coach Nasdaq. Yeah, yes, and me not taking trades. Yeah, that's awesome, Jay. The discipline, man. What did you take today? I took a long off of the sweep of Asia down here. When we swept Asia, we had a breaker, we had a fair value gap, V-shaped recovery, the whole nine, everything that we look for. I appreciate that, Sean. Thank you. This isn't Forex. This is Nasdaq futures, Nasdaq futures, and S&P futures. Still not shorting. Yeah, the self-development from trading is huge, man. It'll definitely expose some weaknesses that you need to work on. Yeah, I'm not seeing shorts either. I could see a little retrace into this 15 and then a move higher, but I could also see just consolidating. Who knows though? Watch the bottom fall out here and I'll be completely wrong. Tristan, I see you on Instagram, bottom ticking over there. Basically, almost, damn near. Yeah, if the bottom fell out here, it would be because something major happened that was unexpected. My average hold time, I think, is 6 minutes, Spoon. I think that's what TradeZilla tells me. I do have a free Discord. Yep. And I do, if I'm in a trade or I'm looking to take a trade, I usually am talking through exactly what I'm seeing and what I'm thinking. Hold time have been hours. It's more like not maybe not swing trading, but that's pretty. Today was just beautiful. Yeah, I agree, Mary. We had some good moves. Pre-market, really, the moves I took were pre-market. So if you caught this long, that was nice. Yeah, very nice. I don't typically trade. I mean, I like to take the trades on live. I wasn't live then. I was sitting here in my boxers marking up the chart and the trade was presenting itself and I was like, "Man, this looks really good." So, I went for it. I don't usually do that, and I didn't even really have time to set the record button. I didn't have my OBS software open at all. So kind of unfortunate. How many contracts you use? It depends on the setup, man. It depends on how A plus the setup it is, but generally five micros, five or more micros. Sometimes I'll go up to 10. But if I'm on eval, I'll do 1 to 3 or 4 minis. This is in queue right here. This is the 15 minute. All right, guys. I'm going to call it 12:10 lunchtime. Not the best trading time. I'd wait if you guys are looking for a setup. Typically, I like to wait until after 1 o'clock, maybe 1:30, to start looking for a PM setup. If you haven't gotten one already, if you're green on the day already, man, just go to the gym, go do something, get out of the house. You had 2 call outs today and messed up both. Hey, it happens, man. You were crushing it earlier. I mean, you were crushing it last week. Can't be right every time, dude. I still think you got the juice over there, so don't beat yourself up about it. But you guys be good. Protect your capital. Protect your mental capital too. Don't just sit here staring at the chart. You're gonna start seeing things that aren't really there. Had that short at 800 and long at 635. Well, you were right about the 635. Did you get stopped out on that? I guess because you were basically bottom taking that strong move up. I was skeptical about the short call out that you had at 800 simply because we had just inverted this 15. Came back to 621. Yeah, that sucks, man. And then just took off. That sucks. So you were right on the call out. It was just a tight stop. What's your opinion on trading Bitcoin or crypto in general? I don't like doing it, but some people make a lot of money doing it. I invest in crypto, but I don't day trade it. All right, guys, I got to call it. Got to end it there. You guys be good. Have a good rest of your day, and we'll be back tomorrow morning. You guys be good. Yeah, man. Have a good day. No problem.